I'm Eric Butts.
And I'm Jim Butts.
With SuicideFantasyFootball.com from our war room, talking about funny team names you've heard for fantasy football leagues.
First off, I'm going to use names that we actually use. You have any funny names that you actually used in your life?
Nah, Jim, we're usually Butts and Butts.
Hey, I've used some pretty funny names.
All right, give me a funny one you've used.
The first one I used with the double entendre for football, I used Going Deep.
Going Deep.
That was one of my fantasy football names. The
Not
other
super funny. I'm not laughing out loud.
Listen, it was kind of
interesting.
Then the other one was when myself and Tom Scott, who is 6'8", had a team together. We were long and thick because he's
now
long
that
and I'm thick.
Makes a lot of sense. I was fat and skinny when I used to be skinny with a buddy of mine, but that's about as funny as
I thought you were talking about 2011 versus 1993.
I was fat and skinny now and then too. So. Yeah. All right, now tell me some other fantasy names that you found on the internet that you wanted to put out there.
I found my favorite one was 2 Gores, 1 Cup. I found Braylon Edwards,
2 balls, 1 cup.
Scissor Hands. I found Brocho Cinco, touchdown there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Show Me Your TDs.
Show Me Your TDs is good. All right, I'll give you my top ones. Romosexual tendencies, I like.
It, of course.
Barbara for my bush. Bros before Shankos, Larry fits in Gerald, Desi does Dallas, and my favorite of all, Strokin' Mike Ditka.
That's a pretty good one.
That is a pretty good one. If I have to come up with a team name, although I'm not a Bears fan or a Saints fan, so it'll be hard to incorporate it, but Strokin' Mike Ditka was definitely my favorite one that I found. We'd love to hear some great fantasy football names that you've used. Send any that you have to Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com. We're going to talk about it this Wednesday, 7:30 on our Blog Talk Radio show. We're going to cover some stuff that's going on with the lockout, just some general fantasy football stuff, but also talk about some funny team names.
Also follow us on Twitter, SFFcom, Facebook, /Suicide Fantasy Football. We're all over the place. Send us emails, get us comments. We love to interact with our fans.
Don't forget about our contest, Suicide Fantasy Girls. You know a girl who's hot and wants to win $250 for just putting somewhere on her body, whether it's in lipstick, marker, holds a sign up, writes it on a t-shirt. #SFF is my BFF. Send those pictures to Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com. We'll get you up on the website, and then go like that page so you're one of the people that has the ability to vote on the hottest Suicide Fantasy Girl.
Can't beat voting on hot girls.
Check us out, SuicideFantasyFootball.com.